Hi everyone, it's Steve Field in the Prime Safety Department. This is our 8th video that we've made. I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. We try to make these videos informative for you. In fact, next week we're going to shake it up some. We're going to have a totally different format, and we're going to want to hear what your thoughts are about what we're doing next week. This week, of course, we've got Robert, we've got Steve, we've got all the operations managers. We've also got Jason Seymour and Dr. Abraham talking about COVID-19, and we've thrown in Travis Bacon. And the reason for that is Travis runs our recruiting department, and we've been getting a lot of questions really from non-Prime associates. Are you hiring? Can I get a job at Prime? And we wanted to address those questions. And we also want to make sure that you as current drivers know that we are hiring, and we'd like referrals, and in certain cases we'd like rehires. So we've got Travis to talk about that. And I'll tell you, we've got one extra video this week. It's going to play right after Steve. I'll just give you a little teaser here on it. What it is, it's from a suggestion we got with the Driver Advisory Board. So even though we're in difficult times, COVID-19, people are working from home, we're still trying to get things done. And I think we're doing a good job. It's not the biggest thing we've ever done, but it does show we are listening, and in its own way, it's going to be helpful to you. So you'll hear Kyla from Success Leasing talking about that. So we're going to get started with Robert, and then I'll talk to you again at the end of the video. Thank you for tuning in.
Folks, take a look. This is the new uniform of the day. Andrea said, actually, I look a lot better with this on than I do with it off. I'm not sure about that comment, but that's fine. Whatever we have to do to stay safe. We are going to ask you to wear masks and protective gear when you're here in the terminal or on any of our properties. We want to keep you safe. We've done phenomenally well. There are some smaller carriers, for example, that have had 18, 22 people that contracted coronavirus in-house. So you can imagine what that does to their ability to load trucks. We are going to be very, very cautious. Some might say a little bit slow, because what we're doing is working. We're loading our trucks nicely. You all doing a wonderful job. Our customers love what we're doing for them. So, we don't want to change that. Eventually, we'll get back to a different kind of normal, but for right now, we're going to be very, very cautious on how we come back and what our protocols here are going to be to keep us all safe. Next week, I'm going to bring with me some charts and some numbers, if our folks can get the charts together for me, and just show you numerically how we're doing. But just a little glimpse of what those are going to be. Our numbers are very, very good, relative to how we've done in past years and how we expect to do in the future. So I'll bring those numbers next week and explain how we got there. Look forward to talking to you. Please be safe out there. Protect yourselves. Do the right things. We're going to be just fine. See ya.
Good morning. Steve Wutke here at Prime at the terminal in Springfield, Missouri. I'd like to say hello to all you team operators, solo drivers, Highway Diamonds, our Gray people, our Salt Lake City people, our Piston people, everybody that we touch. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Just want to touch base about a couple of things that we see happening in our network. First of all, we do see an uptick in business, which is a very good thing. I think our customer base is coming alive again. Consumers are out shopping and buying. Supply chain is fairly well balanced now, so we can get appointments, pick up and deliver on time, which, by the way, I must tell you, you've done a terrific job. Unbelievable, actually. Our customers really appreciate the service you're giving, and all of America appreciates what you all are doing. You're getting all kinds of recognition, and deservedly so. So we want you to continue to protect yourselves. Obviously, we want you to sanitize. We want you to wear your mask. Even when you come into Springfield or our terminals, you're going to need to be masked up in all of the public areas. It's interesting. I was driving this past weekend, and I was on 44, and as you all know, we burn it up pretty well. I saw at least 8 of our trucks in the right lane, by the way, the slow lane, running about 58 to 62. Thank you very much. I was running about 72, so as I was blowing by our trucks, I would look up there, and 6 out of 8 of our drivers had gloves on, which I really appreciate. I think you all are doing a terrific job protecting yourselves. therefore protecting our customers and your families as well. Thank you very much. It's a different time in our industry. We recognize that. I think we're doing a terrific job, and I want you to just do more of it. Pick them up, deliver them on time, protect yourselves, protect the motoring public, be safe. We got a great run going on the accident side. Thank you all very much. We'll talk to you next week.
This is Kyla from the leasing office. I wanted to go over our new transfer station. This was an idea out of Driver Advisory Board. Our fab shop here on site at Prime created this for you guys to be able to use to transfer your gear. So how this will work is you will pull up to each of these spots here. The door opens up inside of the transfer station, and then you just have a short little step to be able to get onto the platform to move your gear. We made the platform wide enough so that you can leave your gear on the platform while you are transferring. So right now the station is just in Springfield. We don't have any MPA in Salt Lake City at this time. We're wanting to use the station here, see if we need to make any modifications before we add to other locations. Please keep in mind that this is first come, first serve. So if you're here on the yard and need to transfer your gear and the spots are open, you're more than welcome to use it. With that being said, please don't park here unless you're using the station so that we can keep that open for drivers needing to use it. I'm going to go over some other changes that we've made in leasing during the COVID pandemic. As well as social distancing, all of our associates are complying with Prime's rules of wearing masks inside the office. We also have the new automated driver check-in. This is a feature that we will continue after everything goes back to normal. This allows our drivers to check in as soon as they're done with orientation without coming into the office. And then as soon as we have a truck available or a list for drivers to look at, we do all of the truck selection process over the phone to limit their exposure in the office. Once you do pick your truck out, you will come in to get your inspection, and we'll give you further instruction for signing your contract through the Prime app. Remember, all of our contracts are electronic now. One last thing I wanted to update you guys on is the situation with the truck manufacturers. We don't currently have any further updates as far as when trucks will go back into production, but we are trying to communicate as we get those updates for you. So if you do have an ordered truck, Haley or Kat will be reaching out to you to give you updates as we get pertinent information. If you're wanting to extend your current contract, we have that option as well. You'll just need to call and talk to someone here in the leasing office. Thanks and have a great day.
Hey everybody, this is Jim Guthrie. I work in the Reefer Operations Division. Back this week to give you a quick update on our operations and our freight network. So, first I would say operationally, if anybody has questions, we haven't had any positive tests. All of our operations people have been working at a really high level, executing really well. And so we're very proud of what we've been able to do operationally to support you and to support all of our customers. So, that pales in comparison to all your efforts, and we'd be remiss if we don't recognize and appreciate everything that you're doing out there on the road. A couple keys here. Key number one is keeping yourself safe and healthy, and key number two is providing service to our customers. And you've done that very well. We've had less than 15 positive cases among all of our drivers. No confirmed real serious issues. So, we've done really well as a team here in our company. And what you all have done out on the road and delivering freight to our nation's food shippers and food warehouses is just phenomenal. So keep up what you're doing. I can tell you that our competitors are suffering, and we're getting our freight because of the service and the capacity that you all provide, and that's something that we can all be proud of. Tell you, just real quickly, freight's picking up this week. We've heard from several of our top shippers that tell us things are looking a little bit better from a volume perspective. So there's going to be freight to keep loading our trucks, and we're going to keep shifting you around to where we need to maximize your earnings and revenue on a weekly basis. So we are going to have a few more upgrades this week. Probably have about 40 upgrades between now and this time next week. So that'll relieve a little bit of that pressure as well. We have some trucks available, and we have the availability to do some additional upgrades this week. So again, appreciate what you do. Keep yourself healthy, safe, and keep providing that service, and we're going to continue to win. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everyone, this is Brian Brown from Flatbed. Just wanted to come back to you again this week and give you an update. Next week, you won't have to see my face. I think we'll have Jim Wilkins, the director of Flatbed, coming to you to give you some information about what's going on from the operations side. Right now, things are going pretty good. We've got a good week going this week. We had a pretty good week last week, and again, we've really been holding our own out there in the marketplace. I'm excited. We've got some new business coming on. I'm not going to mention any customer names out here on YouTube, but we've got some pretty good accounts coming on, and we're excited about that. To have any new business right now, I think, is a great thing, but we're really attacking that and trying to take this opportunity to reach out to more customers. We believe that gives us more leverage out in the marketplace to keep adding more and more accounts. So that's been our saving grace, and it gives us a lot of leverage out there. So keep looking for those new accounts. You guys and your service out there have been amazing. It has been one thing that's helped us to go out and ask for more business from our existing accounts, and we're getting that based on the service you guys are providing out there. So we got a scorecard this morning from one of our largest accounts out there, based out of Illinois. I won't mention the name, but really, really good scores, very high into the 90s. We also had another customer that reported we had 100% on-time service from you guys last week, so that's just outstanding. And again, that bodes well for future business and more opportunities. So you guys are helping us sell out there. It's not all Brian Brown or the sales team. It's you guys really out there selling this for us. You make it easy. So keep that great service going. Pick up, deliver on time, and be safe. As far as health goes, continue to do those things that you've been doing out there. We had one flatbed driver out there, I think, that had a high temperature, came back and had no issues. But other than that, I think we've been very healthy out there as a fleet. So what we're doing is working. What you guys are doing is working. Keep that up and keep following those protocols. Again, do what's asked when you go to the shippers and receivers, as long as it's within reason, and just follow those, because every load that is out there is a load that we need again. So appreciate you guys. Want to give a special shout out to our Highway Diamonds. I should have done this last week, but you ladies out there on the flatbed side are truly amazing. Just to be able to be out there and do what you do is incredible. We're very proud of you. I think one of the best flatbedders I've ever known was a girl named Susie years ago. She was one of our best flatbedders, probably the best in the history of our flatbed. So really proud of you Highway Diamonds out there on the flatbed side, especially picking up those heavy tarps and picking up those loads and putting them down on time. It's truly impressive. So teams out there, we really need those teams. We got a lot of customers out there asking about teams right now, so we need to keep growing our teams. It's a big selling point for Prime. That's something we offer that a lot of companies out there don't offer, and you guys are extremely important out there. So just want to say thank you again. Keep it going, and we're gonna come back to you next week again with Jim Wilkins with more. So thank you.
Hello, I am Brett Vonwiller. I work up in tanker operations. Wanted to give you a little update on the tanker side. Part of my responsibility is the tank washes. We have tank washes in Savannah, Georgia, Decatur, Indiana, here in Springfield, Missouri. We are reporting that all are safe, all are healthy, and it is business as usual, except for the fact that we are asking that we take your temperature before coming into the terminal. You wear masks while in those terminals, and you respect their safety as well. If one of those associates was to get sick, we would have to shut the whole operation down just because it is such a small operation. On the tanker side, on the asset side, everything is going as well as possible. We are reaching out to all of our customers. We are keeping close contact with them via Zoom, via conference calls, and they are being as transparent as possible with us and letting us know what's going on. One of our downsides from the COVID-19 is the non-essential customers we deliver to. The candle makers is one of them. They are up and running this week. On the inedible side, we're starting to see the protein shippers open back up, so we're getting some business from them as well. It is going to be slow going, so please bear with us. Please stay positive. We're doing the same in here, and we will all get through this together. Thank you all for what you do, and stay safe.
Name's Dr. Abraham. I'm from the clinic downstairs at Trinity Healthcare over at the Millennium Building. We're going to start out today by taking a quick questionnaire poll. So who out there likes to wear a mask? Raise your hand. I don't see anybody raise their hand. I don't like wearing a mask either. It's not convenient. But nobody ever said pandemics were convenient. They're not. They just are pandemics. You can't do anything about it. So it's kind of like when our moms told us when we were kids, you know, eat your vegetables. And it's like, well, why do we have to eat our vegetables? It's good for you. That's not the case. Wearing a mask is not necessarily good for you. It's good for other people. There's no guarantee that it's going to totally prevent corona, but it's going to help. Again, you know, as I always say, it's better than nothing. So whatever we can do to minimize that spread of that aerosol droplets from people coughing, whatever it may be, we need to try and take those measures so we protect those around us. So if you like your neighbors, if you like your family, do it for them, don't do it for yourself. A couple other quick points we want to talk about. We're hearing a lot about the childhood inflammatory disease that's showing up in some kids that have been exposed to COVID. A few facts on that of what they know so far is they're seen to typically spike about 3 to 4 weeks after exposure. Some of the symptoms are fever that doesn't go away, difficulty breathing, abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, rash, confusion, and fatigue. Luckily, it's not a very common situation. We don't see it a whole lot. Second thing is we see that it typically resolves on its own. Sometimes kids need some supportive care or even steroid treatment to help along with that. So, you know, again, it's not a common condition. It's pretty rare, but we hope it stays that way. Other aspects that we're looking at are vaccines. There's about 3 vaccines in the pipeline. Hopefully one of them will play out. Nice thing is, I guess one silver lining to the whole COVID experience is that they're developing new technologies in which to develop vaccines. Historically, vaccines have been pretty limited in the way they're produced and developed. Now with the modern science and new technology and something like this, there's some urgency to come up with better ways to administer vaccines and produce them. So hopefully we'll see some good come out of that. Treatments as far as medications, still not a whole lot out there. One of the big things you're seeing is the antiviral that they keep talking about. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Antibody test. We did get our batch of antibody test in. So a little summary of what we found on there. So I tested 2 of our patients that I knew had COVID, and their antibody test lit up for IgM and IgG. And you want to remember, IgM is your immediate antibody that is produced right off the bat. There's also IgA, but that's not really, we don't really test for that one. IgG is your chronic antibody. That's the one that continues to protect you long after the virus is, you know, gone out of your system. So I tested our two of our positive COVID patients, and they both lit up for the IgG and IgM. Of the 100 or the remaining 100 tests that we had, so far nobody else has turned up positive. So we all heard about the study in California that showed a bunch of positive patients, and it really estimated the number to be greater than we thought. So it's hard to draw conclusions from the whole our limited study, I guess. We look at the fact that, one, we've taken really good precautions in our methods of social distancing, wearing a mask, staying clean, reducing the population of the terminals. So Prime has done a great job for that. So, you know, we've got low numbers of drivers that are positive, low number of in-house are positive. So I'm thankful for Prime's help and Robert's help in enforcing those restrictions. The other thing we can look at on the test is, you know, is it possible that the test that California has done or some of these other places have done were not the most accurate test? You want to remember that when the antibody tests are coming out, you got about a dime a dozen. They're coming out of the woodwork now. At least once a day I get an email about some new antibody test out there. And you want to make sure these antibody tests are accurate in the sense that they're testing for the right virus. Sometimes you can have antibodies that cross-react and can light up the test even though you haven't been exposed to COVID. The one we are using was vetted against about a dozen different viruses just to make sure we get some validity there. So I do know that our test is accurate based on the fact that our COVID positive patients did light the test up. So we know it is able to pick the virus. I don't think we have this prevalent population spread, at least within our community here, and we hope to keep it that way. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you need to get tested and you're not able to out there, please let us know. As we continue to go forward, we'll probably go and order more of the antibody test, but right now we're still offering the nasal swab test. I know everybody's excited, sorry about that. So we can help you if you need to. Thanks, have a good day.
Hey everybody, Jason Seymour in Reefer Operations. It's a beautiful Thursday, May the 14th here in Springfield. Just want to take a few minutes and cover a few topics for our latest video. First of which, just want to talk about our screening. And any of you that have been through any of the terminals recently know that we are continuing to screen at all 3 locations, Prime East, as well as the front gate here in Springfield and over at the hotel. That's going to continue for the near future. We don't really know when we're going to end at that point. We're going to ask you the same questions regarding some risk factors and get a temperature to ensure that we don't risk exposure of spreading the virus within our offices and to our other associates. Talk about supplies really quick. We're still in really good shape there. We started out the week with about 340 gallons of sanitizer. So if you need some, don't hesitate to come through and refill your bottle. The great thing about this is it's in a liquid form, so you can not only use it to sanitize your hands, but you can also use it to sanitize the interior cab of your truck. The steering wheel, the dash, those other surfaces that you touch every day that you definitely want to keep clean as you enter the truck and exit the truck and go out into the public. It's really a good idea to keep the interior of the cab sanitized frequently and thoroughly as you go about your work day. I want to talk about some things that we're doing differently in Springfield, in all of our locations now. When you enter the terminal, we're going to ask you to wear a mask. If you don't have one, we can provide one to you. But when you enter the facility, in any of the common areas here in Springfield where I'm at, driver lineup, walking around the office building or the cafeteria, our expectation is that we're going to be masked up at all time, and we're going to ask you to do the same. If you have one and you forgot it, we're going to ask you to go back to your truck and get it. If you don't have one, we're more than happy to provide one to you. We're doing this as an extra measure of protection as states and municipalities start to open back up. It's kind of human nature that we get a little complacent and lackadaisical in how we're approaching this, and that's what we cannot do. We have, through the last 8 weeks, when you think about it, we have a couple thousand in-house associates, 8,800, 9,000 drivers, so roughly 11,000 associates. We have 19 positive tests. That's all we've got. It's like 1/10 of 1%. It's amazing. When you think about the number of loads we've hauled, customers we've been to, we have proven that with a focused, vigilant approach to mitigation of the spread of this disease, we can do that, we can accomplish that and keep ourselves healthy while we still conduct business at a very high level and help everybody's financial success and help the country recover. So we got to stay focused, and as people start to open up and you can go get haircuts and go to restaurants and all those things, it's important that we tighten the net and we continue to be as vigilant as we can to prevent that spread so we don't have an outbreak. I want to finish with just some numbers. Again, I talked about 19 cases. We still have about 7 of those that are waiting to be released. If you do have a positive test, we are going to require a negative test before you're able to go back to work. That can take anywhere from a couple weeks up to somewhere in the month range. It just depends, but we can help arrange testing to ensure that we're getting those done on a weekly basis, on a routine, to make sure that we get you cleared back to work as soon as we possibly can. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was, and it really kind of ties into the numbers as well as the staying vigilant. This is a real deal, folks. 19 cases is amazing. I still it's remarkable to me that we've been able to conduct business at the level that we've been able to, that we continue to, with still such a minimal overall impact to the health of our company as a whole. But it is serious. We have had a couple of serious illnesses. We had a driver that passed away. It might have been COVID, it might not have been COVID. So just take care of yourselves. Cardiac arrest, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. These are all the things that you folks deal with 365 days a year, for your whole career in trucking. And it's important that now, even though the COVID is kind of getting all the topic and it's the big deal right now, those things are still out there. And when you potentially have those issues combined with the COVID virus, the coronavirus, it can turn deadly in a hurry. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to protect you, and we want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect yourself. And a final thought, on a good note, we have had one driver that's been on a ventilator for 14 days. He woke up last night. It's going to take him a couple days, but doctors are ecstatic at the recovery that he's made. So send him all your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully he'll be back on the road before you know it. Thanks for everything you do. Take care.
Hello, my name is Travis Bacon. I'm the recruiting manager at Prime. Just wanted to reach out to you all and let you know that recruiting is still business as usual. So we're still bringing in drivers every week to orientation, just like we always have. We're hiring for all seat classes, no limitations at all, other than the extra precautionary measures that we're taking to keep all of you safe from any extra coronavirus exposure. A couple of those things, you know, where every applicant must pass a COVID questionnaire to make sure they've not had any extra exposure. We're not bringing anyone in from, for the time being, from any of the hot spots around the country, such as the New York City, New Jersey areas, Massachusetts, Chicago, New Orleans, Detroit. We're holding off on bringing those drivers in for now, as the cases, we're kind of waiting for the cases to subside. Also, the orientation classes, we've broken them into very small groups, no greater than 9 people in a room, and every single person must wear a mask. And also, we're not allowing any Greyhound or flight travel into orientation. Everybody's got to drive their personal vehicle, get a ride or a rental. We're not doing anything to bring any extra risk to any of our drivers or any of our applicants coming in. So, but beyond that, we are still business as usual, still bringing in drivers every week. So if you have somebody that's interested, please refer them as usual, or have them apply on primeinc.com. Just click apply now to the top right, and we'll make sure that a recruiter reaches out to you immediately. We're them. Thanks.
Okay, I'm back to close out this week's video. This is number 8. When we first started these 8 weeks ago, we said, well, let's do a video. We're not having our safety meetings. We're not having a lot of our functions, and we're missing it because it's part of our culture. Our instructor banquet, our highway diamonds, our millionaire dinners, potentially the picnic. We're just in different times right now, so we thought it was important to get a video out. And because of the comments, we started doing it each week. If you want to comment on the video, put it right on YouTube. Just add the comment right there. We're very transparent. You won't hurt our feelings. If you have suggestions, if there's something negative about the video, something you want us to do differently. Sometimes we get a lot of background noise because we're usually filming these outside. I'm actually outside today near the Z building, because when I'm inside, I'm wearing a mask. A number of the speakers spoke about it. We are all in on masks. We don't like wearing them, but when I get up from my desk to go to the restroom, to go down to the cafeteria, to go visit another associate, first thing I do is put my mask on. When you hear those numbers that Jason talked about, a company with over 10,000 associates in our entire family here, and to have less than 20 positives, I really think that's amazing. It's a true testament to what you're doing. You're the majority of our associates. You're keeping yourself safe out there. You're washing your hands. You're using hand sanitizer. You're limiting your contact with other people. You're wearing your mask. All of that, when you do it, when we do it in the office, when you put it all together, Prime has just done phenomenally during these extremely difficult times. You're out there delivering freight as if there's no tomorrow. That is fantastic. You're delivering it safely, claim-free, and on time. What that's going to do is that's going to make us even stronger in the future. We're going to see some of our competition fall by the wayside, either because COVID-19 was quite harmful to their company, they couldn't adjust to associates working off-site, their drivers were unable to follow the hygiene procedures. Whatever the reason may be, it's going to reduce capacity in the industry, and that's only going to help us. Robert talked a little bit about next week's video. We're going to shake it up a little bit, and I'll be anxious to hear what you think. Lack of a better name, we're calling it a fireside chat. It will be a couple of associates sitting down with me, maybe asking them a question, and them talking, answering the question, and anything else that's on their mind. Of course, we're going to have Robert and Steve We're going to have IT because we've had a number of IT questions and we just haven't had the safety meetings to go over a lot of that, so we're going to put it out on the video. We'll have all 3 divisions there as well, talking about how this year compares to last year, how we're doing, and what we think the future holds. And finally, of course, we're going to have Dr. Abraham and Jason Seymour updating you. Several of our questions have been, can you continue to keep us updated? Has anything changed? And things in an environment like this can change rapidly. And I think, and I'll close with this, every Thursday we have our managers meeting with Robert, and the one thing I take away each week as we go through this coronavirus is what we're doing is working, so we're not going to be in a hurry to change. And that primarily means the office, but that affects you too. We're checking your temperature when you come into the terminal. We're asking you to wear a mask. We're asking you to get into the terminal and leave when you're ready to go. But we miss a lot. We miss a lot of the interaction. We miss being able to see our drivers, being able to high five in the hallway, just have a conversation. But we're going to get back to that. But to kind of paraphrase Robert, we're going to get back to it slowly. We've been so successful, we're not going to get overconfident here in the 4th quarter, and it may not be the 4th quarter. This may be the 3rd quarter we're in. I don't know, but we're not going to get overconfident. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. It's working, and it's gotten us this far. I can't thank you enough. We'll see how next week goes. Give us your comments on the meeting, and I will see you next week. We'll actually be in the new plaza filming, so I will see you from there. Thank you for everything that you do.